What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully, you guys are doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. Boy, what a weird couple weeks we have been living in. I feel like I should have got on this drone subject sooner. I know a couple of listeners had emailed me and had messaged me and said, "Hey, check this out early on." And what I do like to jump on things early, but sometimes I like to get some more information. And what we've been finding out now is these drones have a whole bunch of stories attached to them and a whole bunch of conclusions now we can draw from them. And I'm going to draw from a bunch of different sources. I've got a bunch of videos up from different news stations, and I'm just going to play one that's we'll play one that's like a few seconds long. We'll talk about it, and we'll play another one, and we'll just kind of see where this whole story plays out. Because right now, it seems like these are alien drones or alien ships. I would call them alien ships, and they are either coming from the ocean or they're coming from another planet. Whatever the case is, it seems like they're alien. They are not our technology. They are not Iran's technology. They are not Russia's or China's technology. Even though, didn't we talk about earlier that China does control like 90% of the drone technology in the world? But I don't think it's China, because if it was China, we'd be shooting it down, right? That's just one reason why it's not China. But let's listen into this. This came out earlier today, and this was oh gosh, New York, New York governor. No, hang on, sorry, Representative Jeff Van Drew discussed the reports of the New Jersey uh, drones, and he said these things are from Iran, and there was an Iranian mothership. So let's just listen to that, okay?
The size of an SUV over any city, over any state. It's an invasion of our airspace. In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
From very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources. I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones. It's everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability. It could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. The military is on alert with this.
And at first I was like, okay, hey, maybe that makes sense. But if there was an Iranian mothership just floating out there in the Atlantic, wouldn't we have shot it down? Wouldn't we have contested it, bare minimum? I mean, like, if it's in international waters, we can go out there and contest it. If it's in our waters, obviously we can shoot it down without having any, kickback from the United Nations. But it seems like that's not the case. There's no way this is an Iranian mothership. This guy spoke, I don't know, out of his own beliefs. Maybe they used AI to put this out, but then no longer than like a few hours later, this comes out.
Sightings that have been reported. At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
Let me say this is the White House, okay? White House, Pentagon briefing.
Continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative.
Right. So there you go. So the White House is now saying this is not coming from a foreign entity or adversary, unlike what the representative just said. Let's listen in here.
Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. Phil.
Just a few questions really quick on Syria.
Okay.
Did General Kurilla...
So that's the end of that video. So she's saying right there, boom. I mean, she's the spokesperson for the Pentagon, and they're saying, hey, there's no mothership. There's no drones being launched from the mothership. You know, I think people would feel pretty good about that if it was an Iranian mothership, because in all actuality, we know that we could take them down. We know that we are a far superior military power than Iran. There's no doubt about that. So I think we'd feel good about that. What they're saying is that that's not the case. So shit, we do have something to worry about now, because it's not Iran. They're not saying it's not anybody else. They're saying it's not us. So who the hell is it? And in the comments section, we have people saying, "Where is our military?" Hang on,
Sightings that have been.
Where's our military? Right? We have no military attacking these things. Why just the local law enforcement is investigating this? Some people are saying. How hard is it to find one until it lands? This is ridiculous. What are they doing about it? Because it doesn't seem like they're handling it very well. So we have a lot of questions here and not enough answers. I think that we have to keep investigating this. So what else? What else do we have? Let me pull this up here. Sorry, gotta move here just a second. Apologize about that. Let's move over here. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. So we have the government, and they're saying it's not them. And we have the government, and they're saying it's some other entity. So who do we believe now? Because now it's just a game of who's telling us the truth and who's not. All right. So let's go back to Tiki-Taki here, and let's pull up the other videos that I had, because these are really good informational sources. A lot of them are that senator. Oh man, how can you have two government entities conflicting with each other? That's just really weird to me. I don't really get that. You know, one entity's fighting the other. So, this is really weird too. I don't know, maybe I should hold off on that for another podcast. But one of the senators I really like is Josh Hawley. I think he's from Tennessee, Kentucky. And they asked him about it. Here, check this out.
What do you make of drones the size of dining room tables and nobody has a clue what they are?
Yeah, you can't tell me that we don't know what that is. I just think they're not being honest with us. I think that if we don't know, if our government really has no idea, then they're even more incompetent than I thought. We've got to get to the bottom of this, and they need to level with the American people about what's going on. It's crazy.
See, that's why I love Josh. I say Josh Hawley, but I think his name is Josh Hockley. He's a senator, and let me pull this up. Josh Hockley, I believe is his name. No, it's Josh Hawley. I thought he was Hockley because he is like a hawk, man. That dude he's a badass. He's from... He's a senator from Missouri. Okay, so he's not too far. He's in Missouri, 44 years old. I mean, he puts people to the test. When he interviews people, he's a tough son of a bitch. And he's saying, hey, our government is saying that they don't know. Well, that's probably a lie. Basically is what he's saying to us, right? Is my understanding of it. We have different video. I'm not doing a video podcast today. But there's a lot of people who are saying on 12/11 today that a New Jersey senator makes a huge admission that they are coming from the ocean. Let's listen in on this.
The best information that we have available.
So this is Senator Douglas Steinhardt from New Jersey, okay?
To us to this point suggested that these drones are coming from offshore, that when we try to make contact with them, they become evasive.
So last night I was on the beach in Island State Park, and Ocean County with the sheriff. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there. We had a number of other people here, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water. Followed right behind them.
And it is clear that these are vehicles. They can come down from over 80,000 feet from space down to the very surface of our oceans in 0.7 of 1 second. And they go beneath the ocean and they travel at over 100 miles an hour underwater.
They're in every body of water. They're in every ocean. They're in every almost lake, river system, small reservoirs frequently. And what I find is these objects are able to operate in water in ways that we don't really have any official ability to do.
See, that's why, I think that when I'm thinking about who is this, which alien species is it? Let's just say it is an alien species, which is what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it's an alien species, or it's Project Bluebeam. It could be Project Bluebeam, which is a fake alien invasion created by the government. We have been warned about that by Werner von Braun. We've been warned about that from numerous whistleblowers and things like that. So could it be a fake alien invasion? It could be. But wouldn't we be attacking them then? Wouldn't we be saying, oh my God, we got to fight these guys off? They're not making any contact. They're saying that they're no threat. They're saying that there's no problem here. If we were staging an alien invasion, we'd be saying, it'd probably be like Independence Day, right? Like, it would be very violent. There'd be ships shooting at us. There'd be reasons for us to scramble F-35s up there, and we'd be at war. But that's not happening. We just have a bunch of ships up there kind of monitoring what we're doing. So part of me wants to say, oh, well, this hasn't happened. This has never happened before, so it must be something different. It must be a different species. Could it be the Troglodytes that Randy Kramer talked about? Could it be the reptilians that have been here and have been in other places? Well, if that was the case, those guys would be landing. They'd be doing what they want to do with us, right? Could it be the Greys or the Tall Whites, or could it be Nordics? I mean, there's so many possibilities. But if they are indeed coming from under the water, the only species that I know that come from under the water is the tall Whites, or the Greys. But the Greys are really not a species so much as they are kind of like an iRobot, kind of like a Tesla robot, an engineered biospecies. So I don't really consider them a species. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, what are you talking about? The Zeta Reticuli and Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah, well, they could still be from Zeta Reticuli, but they can still be like an iPhone from Earth. It's just they're like a bioengineered robot. But if it's an actual species, I'm thinking it's the Tall Whites, or some species that has made a deal with the government, and the government either is not agreeing with them, or they are just wanting to show themselves, in a slow, controlled manner, so that we don't have pandemonium on the streets. The fact of the matter is that we've had 2 congressional hearings now, and we've had a few Disclosure Project meetings dating all the way back to 2000. So what do we have? We have people walking around, humans walking around, knowing that there's there's aliens out there. We don't have the definitions of the aliens. We don't have the details of where they come from and all that information, other than we're getting a little bit of information about the fact that they're coming from under the ocean. But we don't have like, hey, these aliens are 10 feet tall and they look like fish, or they're tall white aliens that look like powder, and they look like the Greys, but they're just like 9 feet tall. We don't have those details. But they're slowly disseminating the fact that there were aliens for the past year and a half, 2 years. Now they're showing up in the skies. Soon, maybe very soon, we'll have one land or communicate with our government, quote unquote, communicate with our government, and our government will tell us that, hey, they communicated with us, and they don't mean us any harm. They just want to say hi. They want to conduct business, whatever they want to say to make us not freak out, right? And maybe we end up sharing resources with them, and in exchange they'll give us something that'll benefit us, like some sort of energy technology that we can eventually say, hey, we can get off of oil now because the aliens gave us this technology, despite the fact that we've had it for so long, right? Maybe that'll be the case. There's so many possibilities here, but I've been listening to TikTok lives that people have been hosting nonstop, and just kind of listening in to see what people's thoughts are. And these seem to be the overall consensus, is that these are aliens. They're not just hobbyists. They're not just people bopping around with their own drones, because these things are the size of SUVs. And like I said in the last podcast, people fit in SUVs. Here, listen to this one here real quick. This is the former presidential runner Mitt Romney talking about these are not foreign adversaries and these are not ours.
The Director of National Intelligence just a few days ago released a new report on 144 sightings of...
All right, so you're here today.
Come on,
you were just
sorry about that. I don't know why it flipped to the next
The
video.
Director of National Intelligence just a few days ago released a new report on 144 sightings of what they call...
All right, so you're here today.
Okay, so for some reason, I don't want to play the video, but basically it was Mitt Romney saying that, they're not ours. They're not our foreign adversaries, basically saying they're aliens. Now, there's another video where New Jersey State Rep Brian Bergen on the Homeland Security meeting about the drones over New Jersey was worthless and an amateur hour. So the government is not giving the state representatives nor Congress really any information. They're being very generalized. So what does this mean? This means that there's a black government. There's a dark government that's not telling us everything that they know. There's like, NSA level, government. And then there's like FBI level government. There's like CIA level government. And then there's like Homeland Security government. There's different levels of the government, and different levels of the government have more information than others, more resources than others, more of a wide range of technological information gathering tech than others. So this is what one rep had to say about the briefings today.
Today, you were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything. Okay, it was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it. But they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today. Spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea.
And
then when the legislators were asked questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? Didn't want to follow it because you didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I mean, honestly.
Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker to when it landed. they would know, but they don't. This is a complete lack of effort.
Now, see, you might be listening to him and say, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about." This guy was in the military. He was in the Army, and he was an Apache pilot, I believe. He was a helicopter pilot, so he knows what he's talking about.
On trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology, we have the people, we have the training, we have the resources, we have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
Why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead, it was just excuse after excuse, and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the service, right?
Yeah, I was an attack helicopter pilot, Apache helicopter pilot in the Army, and I helped stand up the initial unmanned aircraft training battalion in the aviation sector of the Army. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and these guys are not doing the job they need to do to figure out what's going on. And that is
So if he knows, if he worked in the unmanned aircraft battalion and setting it up, I mean, this dude knows what's in the, what we have capable, what the military has capable. He knows. He's in it. He did it. And if there's ever an expert on what we have capable, it'd be this dude. Now, he's not in it right now, but close enough. I mean, he's not that old. So what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? No wonder he's pissed off, because he's an expert in this field, and these guys are like, I don't know. When they had a police helicopter up there, and the guy's like, I'm scared, I'm going home. Well, Jesus Christ, man, you're the guy that you're the helicopter team that's up there, supposed to be, protecting us, and you're scared. Well, what does that mean? That means that whatever's up there is so terrifying that even the police are too scared to engage it. The military doesn't want to engage it because there's no threat. Well, I'll tell you what's a threat. When you got something hovering above your house and you don't know what it is, and it's nothing that you can identify, and it's sitting there in hovering mode, and you can see this thing can fly super, super fast. I'm talking like in a blink of an eye. These things can be gone. They can blink in and out of existence, is what a lot of these witnesses are reporting. That's a fucking threat. You know what that is? That's like having a bobcat. That's like having a mountain lion, a tiger, a liger, a lion in your backyard, being ready to pounce on you at any moment. You don't know if he's going to pounce on you, but you know that he could, and he's fast enough to get you, faster than you. So even though the lion isn't jumping at you, even though the drone didn't abduct you or shoot at you, doesn't mean it can't. So it is a threat. It is above your airspace. That means you should be able to take defensive posturing and measures. And if they don't communicate back with you, then you have every right as a military to protect your land, and they're not doing that. That means they are not protecting you and I, the people who have voted them in office or who are paying for the salaries. And I'm not just talking about the military, but I'm talking about the senators, the House of Representatives. I'm talking about everybody all the way up that we've elected in. That, if they can't get the information from the military, they can't protect us. They can't make the judgment calls to go to war, right? The president can't make the judgment call to go to war if they can't get the information from the correct government agencies. And let's face it, I mean, if we shot down that Chinese balloon, early last year, or 2022, whenever the hell it was, there's no reason whatsoever we shouldn't be shooting these things down. They should be shot down. Shoot those fuckers down. If it's hobbyists, sorry, dude, you shouldn't be up in the air in a restricted airspace, right? You're not communicating back with the FAA. You guys, these things have been up there for how long now? 2 weeks, every night. This is a problem. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts? UAP's been up in the air in New Jersey. Let's see what they have to say. They've been up since mid-November. It's mid-December. So it's been like a month now. So What are we going to do? We're just waiting for an invasion? What do we, people are freaked out. I've never seen more media coverage about drones in my life. I've never seen more media coverage about UFOs really in my life either. This is the most information being shot at us at one time from multiple sources, for everything from Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, NBC, ABC, CBS, News Nation. We have CNN. We've got everybody covering this story. UK Mail, UK Daily Mail. I mean, everybody is covering this, and everybody wants more answers, and we're not getting it. But that's where we're at now. We're at the fact that there was no mothership from Iran over the Atlantic. Cool story, bro, but didn't happen. And we have these drones coming up every night. So as more information piles in, I will bring it to you. I can't wait to talk about this next thing. You're not going to believe it. But anyway, guys, take care of yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. And Lockdown Universe is out. Peace.